Every grandchild in my family is baptized in the same gown, in birth order. My son is 9 and the gown has been at the cleaners since he was born. When Micah was born, I called my grandmother from the hospital bed and asked when we could schedule his baptism. The gown's at the cleaners, sweetheart, she said. These things take time. I was 23 and exhausted, and I believed her. By his first birthday, it was still being restored. The lace is so delicate. By his third, it was with a special conservator upstate. When he turned 5, she told me the christening had to wait for the right season. I stopped asking because every time I did, my mother would sigh and say, "You know how she is about that gown. Don't make it a thing." So I didn't make it a thing for 9 years. Then my younger sister Delia had a baby in October. And 2 weeks ago, my mother called and said, "The christening's this Sunday at 11. Grandma wants everyone there." For Delia's baby? I said, "Of course for Delia's baby. Who else?" I drove over Sunday morning telling myself I was being paranoid. I walked into my grandmother's living room at 11:15 and the whole family was there, cooing over the bassinet by the window. I came around the couch to see the baby. She was wearing the gown. The exact gown. The ivory silk, the yellowing lace at the collar, the little pearl buttons I'd memorized from the framed photos on the stairwell. It wasn't at any cleaners. It was right there on my sister's newborn. I felt the floor tilt. "Grandma," I said, and my voice came out flat. "That's the gown." The room went quiet. My grandmother stood up smoothing her skirt. "It came back beautifully, didn't it?" "It came back," I repeated. "Delia's baby is 2 weeks old. Micah is 9. You said it goes in birth order." Delia wouldn't look at me. My mother stepped forward. "Sweetheart, let's not do this today." "No." I looked at my grandmother. 9 years. You told me 9 years of lies about a dry cleaner. Why? Don't be dramatic, she said. The timing never worked out for your son. That's all. The timing. I laughed and it came out ugly. He's been alive for 9 years. There was time. Some things are complicated, she said, and her chin lifted the way it did when she decided a conversation was over. You wouldn't understand the traditions of this family. You came to us differently. The word hung there. Differently. I was adopted when I was 2. Everyone always said it never mattered, that I was theirs, that blood was just a word. My grandmother had said it herself at my wedding, holding my face in both hands. "You are as much mine as any of them." "Say it," I said. "Say what you mean. That's enough," my mother snapped. But my grandmother had that gown photo album in her lap, the one she brought out at every christening, the leather one where she recorded each baptism in her own hand. I reached down and took it before she could stop me. She grabbed for my wrist. "That is not yours to touch." I opened it to the last page. There were the names, each in her tidy blue ink. Delia's baby, dated today. Delia, my cousin's children, every date in order. And there, on a separate page in the back, under a heading she'd underlined twice, one single line in her handwriting. Adopted line not eligible. My name was beneath it. And under my name, indented like a footnote she was ashamed to file with the others. "Micah." I turned the book around and held it up so the whole room could see the page. 9 years I thought I did something wrong. 9 years I apologized for asking. My hands were steady now. You had a list. My son had a category. My grandmother's face had gone gray. "Put that down. You looked me in the eyes at my wedding," I said. "You called me yours. I never lied to you about the gown to hurt anyone," she said quickly, and there it was, the admission out loud in front of everyone. My aunt gasped. Delia finally looked up, her hand over her mouth. "You just said it," I told her. "You said you lied about the gown. Everyone heard you." My mother reached for me. "Honey." I stepped back and lifted Micah's coat off the chair where I'd draped it. My son was 9 and had spent his whole life a footnote in a book he'd never read, in a family that clapped for him at Christmas. I set the open album down on my grandmother's lap on the exact page, so she'd have to look at her own handwriting while everyone in the room read it over her shoulder. "Don't worry about the timing anymore," I said. "He was never going to wear it. You made sure of that in ink."